Yeah, we'd like to hear more about what you have to say about farming. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So excited to talk to you guys again. Thank you for wanting me to come back. It's kind of dangerous, honestly. But appreciate it, Andrew. Appreciate the opportunity. I'll share my screen. So I think last time I had gone into, kind of the basics of farming when it comes to choosing a farm, how often you should be in touch with your farm, what type of content you should send. And a lot of it revolved around direct mail. Because our company got its start in direct mail. So our most popular product is like our custom magazine. And then we ventured into postcards and some other stuff. But over the years, we've also ventured into digital because one of my core beliefs is omnipresent marketing is the marketing that wins. If any marketer gets up there and tells you one channel is all you need, they haven't done marketing long enough. There's not one magic channel, one magic formula, as we all know. It truly is like an omni-channel effect, which is literally just a fancy way to say multiple avenues of marketing. You should be on social, you should be direct mail, you should be on email. I always tell people there's really 6 frequencies of marketing at a high level. You could probably add more, but 6 frequencies. You got the mailbox, the inbox, social media, face-to-face, which is like a client event, seminar, voice-to-voice, which is a phone call, and then what I call is screen to screen, what we're doing here today, like a webinar or a text message, a video message. And your goal as a business should go, how can I diversify on all 6 frequencies? Because it's very difficult to do too many touch points. It's very easy to do too little. And the name of the game, if you guys remember from my first session, the name of the game is not being the best, it's being the most known. So the best real estate agent doesn't win. The most known real estate agent wins. And that applies to every business. I often say Starbucks doesn't have the best coffee. They're just on every street corner. So you have to figure out, okay, how do I get on every street corner in the minds of my clients? And those 6 frequencies of the inbox, the mailbox, social, face-to-face, voice-to-voice, screen-to-screen, your goal is to go, man, I need to be in front of Leo, Anita, Jason, Andrea. I need to be in front of them as often as possible on as many frequencies as possible. So the effect is the magic words that we all want, which is I see Luke everywhere. Because if I can get you to say I see Luke everywhere, then there's a stat that was written a while back that said 76% of consumers choose the first business they think of. So if your neighbor wakes up today and needs real estate, if you're first in their mind, you have a 76% chance to win that business. If you follow NAR, right, and you look at their latest stats, it's 81% of sellers interview one agent. So they only interview one agent before they decide, I'm going to go with Shelby as my agent. And so the name of the game, all that preface and setup is just to say, you got to be first. Today, we talked about direct mail a lot last time. I want to talk about Facebook ads. I want to show you an ad that I'm running right now for a bunch of agents. I'm running it for my brother. Let me share my screen real quick. I always caveat or preface, what I share. I used to be way more maybe bold or confident. And as the years have gone by, I basically come down to this. It's like, look, this is a Facebook ad that I'm currently running. By no means is it a perfect ad. You might find other ads that are better ads. Like there might be other ideas. I just like to show what I've tested and I've done because it's produced results for me. So this is not me sitting in front of you going as the Facebook guru or meta guru now going, this is the only ad or the ad you should run. I just know this is an ad I'm running that is working for me. And I want to share it with you because I'm doing it for not only, a ton of clients, I'm doing it for my brother. I will skip this is just stats about me. So this is my younger brother, Steven. So I run the marketing for his team. So he has a team called the Acre Brothers Realty team down in Lynchburg, Virginia. They're the #1 team in Lynchburg. I think they're number 7 or so in the state of Virginia. He's done 168 transactions so far this year. If you look at his pillars of marketing, he has 750 people in his database that he drips on through our platform with the magazine and emails. And we have like almost 200 touch points through client events and magazines and stuff like that going. We have X out of this real quick. We have farming happening for him. So he farms to about 4,000 homes, which is 8 different communities. He didn't start at 4,000. So if you think 4,000 is a lot, he started at 250 and has built up. He sends a piece of direct mail to them. We've done as many pieces as every 2 weeks, but his staple is at least once a month going to that. And then he runs Facebook ads as a way to generate leads. And then Google. So I won't get into Google today, maybe another time we can get into Google, but
I just
go
want to
ahead.
make a mention to this real quickly for everyone that didn't see the first training with you. The first training is all about doing it without spending the money. And I think that training for anyone who's just starting and doesn't have the finances right now to go into the Google or Facebook ads, that training is a great training. It's going to be available for everyone for free. I'm going to send the link to you. This one as well, and I'm getting some text messages. I wanted to make it clear. Everybody's getting this videos recorded. I know everybody's in vacation and everybody's with the kids at home, so no concern there. But the next step is, once you actually done the work and you get some money, is to consider Facebook ads and social media as a form of generating leads. Sorry, look, I just wanted to.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. Well said. Yeah, I always, I think it was Tom Ferry that maybe coined this. So give, I guess attribute this saying to him, but he talks about sweat equity and check equity. So you have check equity, which is you write a check to a company like my company or whoever to do this for you. You write checks to systems to give you leverage. But if you don't have money to spend, you have sweat equity, which is you can always get out there and as they say, kiss babies, shake hands, meet a bunch of people. Like I'm coaching an agent right now, Tim, who's done 51 deals in 13 months. I'll go back here, 51 deals in 13 months. And, I was telling him, like, our goal is simple. Like we make things real simple. 20 conversations about real estate a day, like 20 unique people that he's talking to a day about real estate. Now, does he hit that every day? No. Some days he only hits 5. Some days he hits 23, right? It's like, but he's every day trying to push to have 20 unique combos about real estate with people. And that has netted him a ton of success in this business. So this is Steven's year-to-date results. Steven's been running this ad for a couple of years. It's one of the reasons why this ad is so phenomenal to run, because you can run it for long periods of time. I'll explain that in a second. But this year, he's generated 684 leads from this ad. $12.77 is his cost per lead on this. So he's spending, what is that, like $8,000 or something like that so far. So he'll be at least 20 grand spend by the end of the year, to give you an idea. He has 1 pending and 15 closed already. 4.4 million basically in volume, about 160,000 in commission is what he's made off of this from a just result standpoint. You can see right away, if you're paying attention, Facebook ads are top of funnel leads. So in a sales funnel for my company, your company, doesn't matter. You have like top of funnel, middle of funnel, and then bottom of funnel. Top of funnel are people that they're almost not even aware they have a problem and a need, but they get interrupted and they get interested and curious about it, and they start the process down the funnel. Middle of the funnel is you're aware, you're starting to think about your pain point, your need, but you haven't made a decision of who you're going to go with. You haven't made a decision of exactly what you need. Bottom of funnel is, I know I have a need. I know what I want to do, and I'm searching for someone to help me buy and transact. Everybody's vying for bottom of funnel. So a Zillow lead is a lot closer to a bottom of funnel. Not all the time. Sometimes they're top of funnel or middle of funnel and top of funnel. But the reason why Zillow is so expensive is because it is attracting people who are looking specifically for a house and they are ready to transact. They just need someone to help them find that house. So not all Zillow leads are like that, but just giving you an example. Facebook, traditionally, the reason why people love Facebook is you can reach a wide variety of people for pretty cost-effective money. You can get a ton of leads, The reason why people don't like Facebook is because you're reaching a wide variety of people. You're getting a ton of leads you have to sift through. Not all of them are ready to transact. There's not, the quality is top of funnel to middle of funnel, so you have to nurture them. And I'm going to show that to you here in a second with Steven's results on these 16. But I want to show you the ad that we're running. And this ad right here is basically what we call a exclusive list ad. And what this is if you read over here, it's attention, Boonesboro, Virginia residents. So naturally by the copy, what are we doing? We are narrowing into a target and calling you out. So if you live in Boonesboro, Virginia, this is going to, I don't know where you guys are located, but if it was your location, it would stand out to you in the feed. Not only that, we then qualify by price range. Are you or someone you know looking to buy a home in the Lynchburg area for $500,000 or for under $500,000? Sign up below for a list of homes we've compiled in that price range. So then down here, obviously there's imagery to try to pop on the feed. Under 500,000, exclusive list of Boonesboro homes. Click to learn more. I'll show you this here when we get in the Facebook Ads Manager. This is a lead form on Facebook that we're utilizing. We're not going to a landing page or anything like that. We're utilizing Facebook's lead forms. The reason why this ad, I believe, has worked really well for us is because Facebook's algorithm, since we went through all the changes in regulation years ago, around 2016, 2017, you no longer can target the exact same way on Facebook. You can't go down to like a mile radius. You have to stay at 15 miles. You have to use the special ad category of housing. So you can't sort by age and demographic or anything like that. So it limits you in targeting. So the thing you're reliant on the most with Facebook is their algorithm. And their algorithm, thankfully, is very, very good. But the way their algorithm works is I go into my ads manager and I create an audience of people based upon a 15-mile radius location and then likes and interest that Facebook gives me to select from. Things like housing and renting and stuff like that. So I create this audience that I'm going after. And then Facebook takes that audience and shows my ad up to that audience. And this is what it does. Pretend all of you guys are my audience that Facebook shows the ad to. It then shows the ad, and let's say, Sharon, you click on the ad. What Facebook then does, algorithm-wise, is it looks at Sharon, which is just a instance of the whole audience, and goes, well, who is Sharon? And it looks at all the data points on Sharon, and then goes back to that same audience and goes, are there more people in this audience that are closer and look like Sharon than everybody else in the audience? So in essence, it's refining itself. The longer you can run it, the more people that click on it, the more it understands who clicks on these ads, and it tries to show your ad to more people like that. So why do I make this point? Well, with Facebook, you want to be able to run ads for an extended period of time. In fact, I'll give you guys a cheat code with Facebook. I didn't pull this up earlier, but I didn't have this pulled up. If you go to Facebook Ads Library, and I can chat this in, this is basically your way to see all the ads that people are running so you can spy on your competition. So if I'll chat that in so you guys have it. So you go here, select all ad categories, and I can then, we'll just do reminder media so you guys can get an example. See if it loads. There we go. So I can go to reminder media selection, and you guys can see all the ads I'm running to target people like yourself. So you can see, like, look at all these ads I'm running to try to sell my products, right? And try to get in front of insurance agents and real estate agents. And we don't only run ads on Reminder Media. I think we run them on Luke Acree now too, my Facebook page or Instagram page. And so you can go in and you can search. So they have one video running right now for me. So you can go search different real estate agents based upon their Instagram or Facebook page, and you can see what your competition is running. One little hack for you to know, this is a brand new ad they did. Look at the date of how long they're running the ad, because anybody who's running an ad for an extended period of time, chances are that ad is working for them. Not all the time. Some people don't pay attention to their metrics like they should, But if you see somebody, especially a company, running an ad for an extended period of time, there's a good chance that that ad is working for them. It's producing results for them. And that's why they continue to run it. So this is like a cheat code that you can go to Facebook ads library and basically look at, type in real estate in your area and see what comes up. Type in realtor and see what comes up to see if you see somebody that's killing it in your market, go see if you can find their Facebook, their Instagram, and go look at what they're running and see if they're doing it or Facebook ads. They might not be. So if I go back to this ad real quick, and then I'll jump into this ads manager. The one reason why this ad works really well is because it can be run for a long period of time. Steven's been running this type of ad for years, a couple years now. And so it allows the algorithm to get really refined. We refresh it with the imagery. So we'll refresh the ad after the frequency gets high. So frequency is the amount of times the audience, because your audience is limited. Maybe it's 15,000 people, let's just say. Well, eventually all 15,000 people have seen it. And all 15,000 people see it again. So you have this thing in Facebook's ad manager called frequency, which tells you, oh, wow, the average person has seen this ad 1.7 times. You want a good frequency, but after your cost, what you're really tracking is your cost per lead. So if Steven's cost per lead starts hitting $15, we know it's time to refresh the ad collateral, meaning refresh the imagery. Now, here's another cheat code for you if you guys do Facebook ads. We've been finding that utilizing AI imagery of housing works better than an actual house in the market. And the reason why I think that is, for right now, it's not always going to stay this way. It's because ads or imagery created by AI just kind of looks different. It's just like a little bit off. And so I think it pops in the feed. Now, one thing to learn about Facebook or Instagram marketing versus Google, and this is really important from a marketing standpoint, Facebook and Instagram are interrupt platforms. Google, YouTube, those are intent-based platforms. What does that mean? When Jason goes to his Facebook page, he's going to look at his friends and, engage and be entertained most of the time. He's not going to try to get a list of homes and shop for properties. He didn't go to Facebook with that intent. But my ad came up in his feed as he's just scrolling through. And because it caught his eye through copy or through imagery, I interrupted his train of thought. I got him intrigued on what I was saying and got his attention to take action. So it's an interrupt. So that means I'm going to get more people to click, but less quality because they had no intent of shopping for property necessarily. On Google, what do? You go to Google to type in a request. You have intention about what you're searching for. So when you have ads pop up on Google, Google's a lot more expensive from an advertising standpoint because it's more intent-based. If someone types in the best real estate agent in Lynchburg, Virginia, well, they're looking for something specifically. So it's an intent-based. So that's one thing to understand about Facebook ads is you got to interrupt the pattern of thought. And that's why I think AI imagery works really well, is because it just looks different. And so people naturally like, oh, and they're drawn in. So one thing to note, I said it doesn't need to be constantly refreshed like an open house ad, a just listed, just sold ad. So just listed, just sold, they have a natural time frame based upon you selling the property. Doesn't mean you shouldn't run these ads. I love running a just listed or just sold ad as a way to really build brand awareness. And then also if, Andrea, you're going in to your next listing appointment, if you run a listing ad for every listing you get, you can take the results, the metrics of what you got on that listing ad, number of views and impressions, the reach, and you can showcase that to the seller as one of the ways you advertise properties. So Steven's able to say in his listing presentations, hey, we get the property on average from a marketing standpoint in front of 30,000 plus people. And he can show them, hey, our last ad, this was the amount of reach we got, right? So he's able to showcase. So it's just a tool in your toolbox to stack your marketing plan to that seller of you're going to get their property in front of a ton of people. But you're paying for this, of course, unless you have a great following on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So that's one reason the ad works. The other reasons are kind of straightforward and obvious. but it's important to state. This is working extremely well right now. Why? Because inventory is so low. And everybody wants to get an exclusive list. Everybody's like, I've been searching for it home and can't find them. So you're naturally zoning in on what the desire of what that prospect wants. And it allows you to target people in your ideal price range. What we recommend is we start out with like 3 different to 4 different price range to see, we try to get your feedback going, what home range do you want to sell in, and then build up. So if you want to start at 500,000, maybe we run $500,000 list, a $600,000 list, 750, $1 million, and see what ad is converting the best, and then narrow in on that ad. So we start with 2 to 3, if not 4 different ads going, and then we narrow in based upon the result that's happening. So if I go to Facebook's ad manager, and I don't want to overwhelm you here, and feel free to chat in any questions or raise your hand, because I don't want to feel like I'm just talking at you guys the whole time. But you can do this. Oh, go ahead, Andrea.
No, we're hearing you and we're paying
Okay.
attention to what you say.
Okay. So one thing is so of course, we do Facebook ads for clients, but I want to show you, you can do this by yourself. The reason why you would use a company like us is because you want to leverage your time. Hey, I don't have time. And you want to leverage our experience across thousands of agents to refine your audience, to do your collateral and your copy, but you can do Facebook ads yourself. Right now, when you go to your Facebook page, you guys can all have an ad manager right there in your menu, and you come in here, and I've already created obviously a ton of ads in here, but what you'll start with is this create button up here, and you have basically 3 different segments of your ad. You have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. The easiest way to think about it is the campaign, which what you start with here is your objective. What are you trying to do with this ad? Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. What are you trying to accomplish? So you have awareness-based ads. Facebook is really good at telling you right there exactly what this is good for. You can reach a lot of people. You can build brand awareness. You can drive views, right? You can share where your store location is if you're retail. If you want to drive traffic, this is about driving people to your landing page, right? Or some other offsite thing that you're trying to get them to. Engagement is about driving clicks, comments, shares. Leads is what we use for this ad because we're trying to drive conversion. We're trying to get leads in for Stephen on this ad and for some of our clients. And so the good thing about this is it uses Facebook's instant forms. And Facebook's instant forms are basically lead forms built right into Facebook to make it easy for the person to type in. And that's what we're using on this. So you want to set your campaign, which is your objective, whether you're trying to grow your brand, drive them to your website, maybe IDX page, or drive leads. For this ad, we're driving leads. The easiest way to think about ad set is if your campaign is your objective, your ad set is really your audience, and most of the time going to be your spend that you want to do. So let me pull up, you see over here, Stephen on this ad, this 150,000, he's getting a $685 cost right now per lead. This one, he's getting $17 per lead, right? So it's kind of high up there, balanced across his accounts. So if I go into this 151, just to kind of walk you through. So I basically clicked on, let me move the zoom real quick. I clicked on the ad set one, which is this right here. And I'm going to click into scroll down. I'll scroll down first. One thing to note, special ad category, you need to mark this as housing. You will get flagged. You won't go live. And if you run ads without the special ad category of housing, they could ban your account. We've seen that happen a lot to people. So you have to, if you're going to run ads on Facebook, you have to choose the special ad category of housing so you don't discriminate and violate any regulation or laws. You come down. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but you can set your daily budget. For this ad, Stephen's doing $5 a day. Across the platform, we recommend, this is what we've seen with our clients, try to spend at least $300 a month on your ad spend. So at least try to get to $300 a month. We've seen even better results if you can get to about $20 a day across your ads. But it kind of comes down to your budget. We just find that a couple things happen when you can get your spend to about $300 a month. The algorithm can refine faster because it's trying to spend more and reach more people. We also see better results consistently from that. So our recommended minimum is about $300 a month is what we recommend. But we have people spending thousands. We have people spending $150 a month, depending on where they're at. When you type in your budget, Facebook is really nice. It gives you the ability to kind of see your average reach over here, which is going to be 886 people to 2,600 people. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. There we go. So then I scroll down, and what I really want to show you is, so you have your average spend that you can do, and then this is where you select your audience. So your audience is going to be people that are, basically likes and interest about people. So, if I want to type in, we already have anyone who submitted a form in the last 90 days, we're excluding them. The reason we do that is because we were getting a lot of what we call duplicate leads. Like Andrea saw our ad, she requested the list, she sees it again 3 weeks later, she requests the list again. We decided we already have them in the system, we're already dripping on them, so we just want to exclude anybody who's already seen the ad and requested it, because we just found that worked for us. But for some other people, you could basically do whatever you want there, meaning you don't have to exclude people that have seen the ad in the last 90 days. For a lot of it, we weren't doing that, but we decided to recently because we were just getting a lot of duplicates. What we've done down here is because it's a special ad category, you go less than 15 miles. Steven's doing 25 miles around Lynchburg. You can't any age. You have to be wide open on age. You have to be wide open on gender. And then if you look here, this is an audience we have created. So we interest, and you can read some of them. I know it's probably small, but Realtor.com, land and house, modern architecture, owner occupied, mortgage calculator. So this is basically saying if somebody on Facebook has an interest in a mortgage calculator, we want to serve our ad up to that person. This is by no means perfect, meaning it's so broad now because of the special ad category of housing. So you're really dependent nowadays on Facebook really refining your audience, but this helps a little bit. So if you think about how I'm targeting, I'm targeting my area based upon a 15 or plus mile radius. I'm targeting based upon likes and interests. So I'm choosing people that have a natural interest in things around housing. And then I am serving my ad up to that audience and letting Facebook refine based upon people who engage and click on it. But I'm also refining by my ad collateral. So that's the third segment of creating your ad. You have your campaign, which is your objective. You have your ads segments, basically, which are your audience and your spend. And then you have your ad collateral, which is, if I click in, let me see if I can see an example for you guys. So this is the ad collateral, which is going to be the actual copy and imagery of the ad. And let me zoom back in for you and see if that makes it a little better. There. So then I come down here, and in here, I'm able to set up my ad collateral. So I can do a single image or video. I can do carousel ads. What we have found is that doing the 4-quadrant has worked the best. Let me see if I can do an advanced preview for you. See, this is an AI image. Basically generated to look like a home in Forest, Virginia. So this is what people are seeing on the feed, is this AI image. Same idea, attention, Forest, Virginia residents, or you or someone you know looking for a home in Forest, or you want access to exclusive list. So we're using a single image. That's where we found the best success, is kind of a 4-quadrant. We have clients that do carousels. We have clients that do a single just image of the home. It hasn't made that big of a difference. We just find that the 4 quadrant seems to work better. And so we've stuck with that. But that's why I said in the beginning, is a 4 quadrant the perfect one? I don't know. You can test a couple different ones. We've tested almost everything, and we just keep coming back to this one. The other thing is like where your ad placement is. Some trainers will tell you, don't put your ad placement like in the Facebook marketplace, right? For instance, our theory on that is we want to give Facebook the reins to go out there with their algorithm to the full audience segment and use its skill set to refine. So we don't want to limit Facebook. This is just our theory. We want to give Facebook the reins based upon our audience and our geographic location to go out there and buy the ad, try to figure out itself where the best placement is to generate leads. Because if Facebook puts this ad within the marketplace and people start clicking, it will refine and showcase in the marketplace more than it showcases on the feed. It will naturally basically try to determine, because Facebook, they want you to get results because they want you to spend more money. So their whole goal is to get you results through this. And so we try to give Facebook more of the reins instead of limiting and saying, no, we don't want to place it on the marketplace. But you can experiment with it. Like the Business Explorer one is another one a lot of people remove, Facebook Business Explorer. But you can choose. This is the copy that we're using. Are you or someone you know looking to buy a home in the Lynchburg area for under 150,000? Sign up below for a list of homes we compiled in that price range. The headline is get an exclusive list of homes in Forest, Virginia. The call to action that we find to be the best is learn more. You can try some other stuff. We just find learn more is less threatening. People are more likely to click it. Then when we come down, we basically have created using Facebook's forms. Let's see if I can scroll down. The form that pops up. Now you'll have the ability over here, right, to create the form. So we're basically going, when you click learn more, this form will pop up for you. So if I go back up, so we've created so many forms. That's why this is here, but I'll just show you real quick. If I hit create form, you have a couple different options here. You have use a form that's quick to fill out and submit on a mobile device. Higher intent would be add a review phase. So if you've ever submitted info on Facebook, sometimes it auto-fills your info. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like it will autofill your phone number and your email that you set up your Facebook account with, or Instagram does this. What this is saying is that, hey, I want to make it easy. Just autofill their info and let them submit. What this is, higher intent is going, you can autofill their info, but they have to confirm that they have to double confirm. And so it gets a little bit higher intent. We've tried higher intent and we've tried more volume. We don't see a difference in conversion. We see less leads though with higher intent. So we have kind of gone back and forth. I would suggest more volume because Facebook is going to be a middle of funnel, top of funnel platform. It is very difficult to make it bottom of funnel where you're just getting high quality of leads. So your game here is huge brand awareness, building a big drip list that you're going to drip on for the rest of time, but also working the leads to get conversion to more than pay for itself. And I'll explain that in my key takeaways with Steven. I know we only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to, for the sake of time, you guys can get in there and play around with it. But this basically allows you to go through and you can put in questions. If you want to put in questions, you can change the form over here that they're going to be filling out if you wanted to do that. So I'll just do this. And so we create this form that pops up and you can kind of walk through it. Make sure you have your basically terms that, hey, we're going to reach out to you. By submitting this, you're agreeing to receive emails and text messages and stuff like that from us. So make sure you put that in there so you don't get in trouble. And then your privacy policy, probably on any of your websites, you have a privacy policy, but if not, get ChatGPT to write one for you and put that on your website so you can link out to it. And then here it is. Acre Brothers Realty team will email you the list soon. Have questions about the market, want to know about how many homes in the area are in your price range, want to talk to an experienced realtor, you can text or call our team. click below to get contact with us. We're looking forward to helping you, and they can click here to text. So that's kind of the ad that Stephen is running. If I go back to the slides, let me show you the breakdown, because this is really good to give you expectation setting. Look at Stephen's days to close.
Just a quick question from the chat. Where does the
Yep.
information go when they fill out the form?
Oh, great question. So it will go into your leads right there in your ads manager. You have a place where you can get your leads, but you can also tie it, like Stephen ties it to follow-up boss. So you can tie it to your CRM. Most CRMs, whether you use a KV Core, a Moxie, a follow-up boss, most CRMs allow you to integrate. If they don't have the direct integration with Facebook, they usually can use Zapier or Zapier that you can utilize in order to do it. I just want to make sure I get this out for you guys, because I think expectation setting is key. Stephen's average closing is 326 days. Calls made to close, 36 calls on average. So here's the thing, right? You have Jay here, 245 days. Walter, look at Walter, a couple of years, right? But then you have Benjamin, 8 days. Jerry, 74 days. Jerry here, 28 days. Mike, 63 days. So I like showing this to people, because it's like the biggest place I see people fail is they don't realize you got to nurture. On average, it's 10.8 months for Stephen right now to close these Facebook leads, to nurture them to close.
Look,
so that's a good
that
yeah.
breakdown. Sorry to interrupt you. That breakdown is over what period of time? Like,
so these deals came in from this year. These are the 16. So that he closed this year that I was showcasing on this slide. I just wanted to show you the data of, like, so it's not like Stephen created these ads and closed 16 deals right away. A lot of these deals came in from previous years. So that's how long he had to nurture them. He got deals from this year. So his first year in business, so Stephen will probably do 32 to 35 deals from these Facebook ads this year, from the track he's progressing. His first year running the ads, he closed 16 deals. And I did a whole webinar on this in our resource library that you can find at remindermedia.com. His first year in business, he spent, I believe it was 18 grand. He got 16 deals, and he generated like 1,200 or 1,300 leads, if I'm not mistaken, that he had to go through. But those leads, he's kept nurturing. So my thing to you guys is, if you start Facebook ads for yourself, you use us, any company, just know you've got to be nurturing them 10.8 months. Think about that from a time frame perspective, from an expectation. Chris Smith, do you guys know him? Curator. He wrote the conversion code. Do you guys? Okay, you guys should check out Chris Smith. He's amazing. If you don't know of Chris Smith, he's Jimmy Mack and Chris Smith. They started Curator, but they're incredible marketers. I spoke at a webinar for BAM, a virtual webinar, and Chris spoke there too. He came on after me, and I don't know if you watched my talk or not, but he said leads in general across all categories take on average 7 months to convert. Across all categories. So don't beat yourself up. If you have a bunch of leads that haven't converted, you got to stay with them. Stephen's average calls, it took 36. Now, it didn't take 36 calls to get the appointment and start showing them. It took about 18 calls to really get down to where I'm working with a qualified buyer or seller. But it took 36 to get my commission check in my hand. All right. So a lot of nurturing that you have going on there. 5 of the 16 were listings. This is an important thing to showcase to you, because we've run a bunch of listing-based ads, seller-based ads, get a home value, stuff that is revolving around things like what you need to know to list your home. They're good. They're more expensive. So Stephen's paying $12.70 or so for a lead right now. He's paying, when he tries to run a seller ad, $35, $40, $50 a lead. So it's a lot more expensive, but what we found is we're getting just as many listings from his buyer-based ad that we are from the seller-based ads. And I've watched a lot and listened to a lot of trainers on Facebook, and everybody's kind of zoning in on the same takeaway, that it seems like even though it's a buyer-based ad in a way, get an exclusive list of properties, we all know 40% or so of buyers have to sell in order to buy. And so Stephen got, out of the 16, 5 of them were listings that he got. from this. So that's a key takeaway as well.
Quick question. Is there a
Yeah.
KPI related to like a net between how much he spent on ads versus how much he made in a year and what the net is?
I'm not sure if I totally understand.
So I think
the
the previous slide says that he made $200,000 or more.
Yeah, let me go back to that.
Yeah.
So for these 684 leads that he's gotten this year, he has spent, sorry, my calculator's on the other screen, $8,734. So 1,277 times 684, he spent that. Now, keep in mind, this is the leads that have come in this year. So some of the leads
and they're going to
that he got last year.
Correct.
But this is basically, so Steven last year spent around like 25, 30 grand. That's where he's averaging usually in his spend. Between his first year was like 18 grand, and he's kind of been around 25, 30 grand in his spend over the course of a year. His ROAS, which is his return on ad spend, has always been between 400, 500% is what he's been getting in his ROAS. So it's worked out really well for him. The biggest pain point for all of you to think through to go, is Facebook ads right for my business, or should I focus my energy and time on other areas? Is, can you nurture the leads?
Yeah.
Can you nurture the leads? Because I want to make sure I'm advising you and helping you guys the best I can. There are deals here. Think about this too. Steven's only closed 16. I'm not the best at math, right? 684 minus 16. That's 668 people he didn't close. Guess what? He gets to nurture these people and drip on them for the rest of the time. With his emails, with his postcards if he wants to. He has a database of 30,000+ now that he is dripping on. And again, he's closed 168 deals so far this year, right? And it's like a lot of the deals coming in, we all know this, it's a relationship-based business. It's a brand-based business. So this is just one way, the almost unintended benefit of Facebook ads that's an advantage is Steven gets seen 30 to 40,000 times a month in that 25-mile radius from people in the community, from his ads online. He gets hundreds of leads to add to his database to drip on for the rest of the time. The pain point is, man, it takes a lot of time, right, to call upon 684 leads. Steven obviously is big enough. He hired a ISA on his team, but he recently got rid of them because now he has agents. So he's building his agents, and his agents call the leads. Like, they want to call them. So they come in, they do call nights, they come in.
So let's touch on this because I think it's really important. You mentioned that, there's a lot of leads to call, and in the same time, agents have to service clients. So an average from your experience, at least in Canada, a good ISA, it's about $40,000 a year that sits on the chair for 8 hours and just calls and books appointments for you. So if we were to subtract from that amount that came in, the ISA, so you don't have to even do that job. What's the bottom number that it comes? You don't have to do that job. That person books appointments for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would have to, like, depending on what you make, I mean, if you use the 40, oh, sorry, I'm clicking too far. Sorry about that. So like, he's brought in 160,000 in commission, so you can lower that by 40 grand, you know what I mean? Or 50, let's say 55 grand with all said and done. So he's still making the return, but it's just less that he's making. But I would challenge all of you to go, if you can't hire an ISA, which most people can't, right? How do I say this politely? Is basically, if you look at your schedule, you're probably wasting a lot of time. I don't know some of you are probably extremely disciplined, but some of you are probably like me and not as disciplined. And when you start looking at your schedule, you start realizing how much time you're wasting. So here's my challenge to all of you. So I've interviewed a lot of people on the podcast, right? As you know, Andrea, you were phenomenal, and many others. Top producers, they honor their calendar. They have commitments to your calendar. If I were you, I would book. You choose the time, but I would suggest 8 to 11. You just prospect all day long. on 8 to 11 every single day. You do not schedule any other meetings during that time. That prospecting doesn't just have to be your Facebook leads. That prospecting can be calling your sphere. That prospecting could be circle prospecting. I promise you, if you do that for the next 90 days, you will be blown away what your next 90 days will look like. But that is hard to do, because every day you get texts coming in, emails coming in, and there's something that pops up with the client, with the family, and you've got to make the decision, how important is my prospecting? And all top producers, this is what they know. Tom Toole, if you guys know him, he's an incredible RE/MAX agent down here by me, has a team, everything like that. He talks about this all the time. And the man's like the #1 RE/MAX agent, I think, in the state of PA. It's like, you have to honor your prospecting hours, and you need to put it on your calendar and commit to it, because what's on your calendar gets done. That should be your mantra. If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to get done. One of the ways to help qualify, and I know we're over time here, so I'm going to have to jump here too, so sorry about that, but is text message. So we send this type of message out to all leads that come in. Hi, Colleen. This is Cody Smith with Acre Brothers Realty. I got your request for the list of homes and forests from Facebook. I'm putting it together now. Just want to confirm you are most interested in new construction or an existing home. Why is this text message really good? Followed by any other important criteria in homes that you'd like me to include. What's good about this is it doesn't seem, besides the reply stop, it doesn't seem like it's just a bot or a computer, because there's two separate messages. Number two is any response tells me it's a real human being. Any response immediately puts them at the top of my, I call it queue, top of my prospecting list, because you just have solidified you're actually responding. You're actually a real person. So I'm going to focus my attention on you. On the phone call, we have scripts. Like if you join our program and do our ads, we give you the text messages and these scripts. So Steven makes calls. We even did a whole video thing where Steven made live calls, where you can watch him make some live calls and all that good stuff. But our script is really simple. It's, hey, Andrea, my name's Steven Acre. I'm a local realtor in the area. I saw you were looking at houses. I just want to see if you found what you were looking for. That's how we're coming in. And the reason why that script is working really well is because the immediate reaction of the prospect is, no, I haven't found what I'm looking for right now. Or yeah, I found what I'm looking for, which you're basically self-qualifying that you are looking for homes. Where most people make the mistake is they go, hey, I got your information off of Facebook. I saw you requested more info on homes, wanted to get that to you. Does that ring a bell? And the person's like, immediately you walk into a retail store and they ask you, are you looking for something? What do you say? No. So the immediate reaction to the prospect when you call them and you just immediately voice you requested stuff on Facebook, they immediately just shut you down. If you go in and say, I saw you were looking at home, Shelby, just wanted to follow up and see if you found what you were looking for. I'm making the assumption you're looking at homes. You now got to verify for me, are you looking for homes or are you not? So you're immediately self-qualifying within the first, and it's a pattern interrupt. So it gets the person to respond. And then from there, you can go, I don't know if I have this, I don't have it. But then the script goes on to ask a bunch of qualifying questions. Hey, what exactly were you looking for? Awesome. What makes you look for, a yard, or what makes you look for this? Do you have kids? Like it's going down that qualifying list. And sorry, I know I'm talking really fast. I just want to get you guys some of that info. And then of course we have emails that go out as well to people, but I'll stop there, Andrea, and more than happy to answer one or two questions. And then we can jump.
Sounds good. If anybody has any questions, just unmute yourself and ask away. One thing that I want to mention until someone's making their minds to ask questions is the part that I like about you, Luke, is that you're actually not sugarcoating the process, which is, and you emphasize it even more in the previous training, where you talked about the importance of prospecting, follow-up, knowing what to say, knowing your questions, being consistent, doing it for a long time before you actually see. And it results in is one thing that I always say, and you said it word by word last time, which is if you are not interested in putting 3 years in this business to see results, and in that process not to have big expectations, and still be able to go hardcore and like you said, schedule your mornings, schedule your prospecting, schedule your follow-up. You're not meant to be for this business. And I love to see that. And I think we should emphasize more and more and more and more until all these agents understand, and especially new agents, that it does not just take to have a pulse to make it in this industry. It's a lot of work, but it comes with huge benefits. I'm so happy to have you here back. If nobody has any questions, we want to thank you for being here with us today. Everybody's going to receive the free recording of this, and if you have any questions, reach out to Luke. Me personally, again, and this is not a sales speech, but me personally, everything that you shared with us, it's amazing. If you have the video, you can stop it, you can do it yourself as you watch the video. I'm sure you have many other free videos, but to me it would be way too much time consuming to create the ads, to maintain the ads, to follow up with the clients, to service the clients, and to have a life. So to me, I love to delegate and leverage, which is one of the things that we're going to talk in the next training for everyone in our group right now at 10:15. Leverage and delegate as much as possible. It does come with the cost, but it gets you back time. So again, highly recommend reach out to Luke. And yeah, and somebody was asking if you're serving agents in Canada, and I said without asking you, because I know you're servicing Canadian agents as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. No, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate your time. And connect on Instagram. I'm on Instagram probably the most, at Luke Acree. Would love to connect with you. If you have questions, hit me up there.
Sounds good.
And same with Facebook. You can always hit me up there as well. But yeah, hope this helps. And then looking forward to hopefully meeting you guys in person one day.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you guys.